Yeah, so I'm definitely a perfect example of, you know what I mean, honor before kissing anybody's ass for life. And let me explain what's happening. So anybody that gave me bad advice at work, even if it's just simple, like they just try to tempt their little negative influence toward me, you know, I'm not saying I'm perfect or I want a perfect, what do you call it, moral compass or anything like that. But, you know, people go ahead and show them true selves. You know, when they spit those little sly little comments, a little tiny little, you know, that really don't mean much, but it adds up to like, why would I even want to tolerate their presence beyond anything that's strictly business? You know what I mean? So, and they have this idea like, oh, we're Ohana though. If you're Ohana, you wouldn't have gave me no foolish advice because you're talking to a man that's probably older than you, and you've been doing this for a long time. So imagine the young people that you deceive. Maybe you looked at me and you assumed I was this sucker, or I was this phony, or I was this and that. Whatever excuse you made up, that's hard right there. Check it out. Whatever excuse you made up, that gold one, the rust gold, whatever excuse you made up, you judged me prematurely. Therefore, based on your actions, and I was embracing y'all. You know what I mean? You know, lifting you guys up. And now when I ask you a question about something, it's all some phony ass deception. You know what I mean? Some weak form of, you know, your weak advice. And you're supposed to be like this guy of position, or you carry yourself a certain way, and I just prove how phony you are. So don't be mad at me if I keep it strictly business, you know. And I apply that to females and everybody, you know. Especially like, you know, people like, oh, how come you didn't wave to me at Waikiki? You must do a lot of drugs. That's her first comment. You know what I mean? And this chick is trying to get to know me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kick her to the curb to where she can't even say hi to me. I ignored her so many times, like she wouldn't get it. I go, hey, it's strictly business now. Oh, why, Rico, you mad at me? Nope, strictly business. You prove that, you know, that you require that type of direction. You know, did I say, hey, I don't fuck with the help? Did I say, hey, you know what, this and that? I said, nah, it's strictly business. And, you know what I mean? Open the door and close the door on her. You know what I mean? What's she doing trying to walk inside my office anyway? You know what I mean? Crazy people, man. Crazy. Like, oh, I belong in here. No, you don't. Members don't go and cruise wherever they want to cruise. You know what I mean? This is straight, you know what I mean? A molester. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know, who do you think this chick thinks she is? You can just barge her way in. And she has no business in here. So she's just trying to set you up, or trying to slander you, or try to create some kind of like, what, you think you got it like that, where you can be romantic with anybody you want? You know what I mean? My life's a privilege. You know what I mean? If I ain't a hoe, why would I fuck with a hoe? And I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not claiming you that, but you acting like one. Therefore, strictly business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it started with just all the females. And then I started picking all the right ones. Like, oh, Rico, why you work here? There ain't no money over here. And she's a member. I said, how you know what's going on with my personal life, whether I need this place or not? Whether this is a humble experience for me to capitalize and flip everything else I got going on. How do you know? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even explaining this shit to her, but I'm looking at it like, you know, and she's bad, bro. Like, you know, but her mindset is weak. You know, you're going to have to babysit this person. This person, you're going to have to end up telling her, you know what? Don't you ever come by my place without calling me. Don't be showing up over here. You know what I mean? She's already possessive already. The first conversation was talking about money. You know what I mean? I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, who are you to be? You know what I mean? So I love it when they assume and they show me their true selves. Because in that way I can skip them automatically. You know what I mean? And what's happening is this. They can't deny the fact that they want to holler and say what's up. For what? I know no one there. There is no reputation I have. There is no, what do you call it? I don't know anyone there. You know what I mean? I haven't seen none of these guys at the beach or these women outside of this place of business. You know what I'm saying? So really, they're gravitating toward me just based off my work and the way I carry myself. Now, when the door gets shut on them, hey, it's strictly business only now. You know what I mean? You should respect that, you know? Because what they're doing is very, very disrespectful, taking kindness for weakness. And if they're the type of person that wants to go ahead and be prejudiced and assume, ooh, I kick them to the curb and I make them like, girl, your life is not even like worth in terms of existence. And they keep saying hi, like as if like, you know what I mean? Like, man, strictly business. No one needs you. You know what I mean? In terms of any personal thoughts or anything like that. If you can't handle business with me, that'll dictate everything about any form of a closeness or personal relationship, anything like that. But you know what? I put a curtain over everybody. Man, woman, the whole entire group. Strictly business on all of y'all for life. You know what I mean? I give a fuck about your guys' fucking favoritism, nepotism, or the group council, or the, you know, fit in the fucking, fuck all that shit. You know what I mean? They wish they could fire me. I mean, I'm gonna leave when I want to leave. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, it's gotten to the point to where, like, you got grown-ass men in high positions, and they're looking for you, looking for your leadership, looking for your presence, looking for like, hey, let me shake his hand today. Like all this little babysitting shit. You know what I'm saying? Because of what? Fuck, I don't know, man. I could care less of the reasoning. But you know what's most important about all this? Is that I don't fold, man. I keep my honor intact. For what? Because that what makes me powerful. I mean, by me being able to focus and do my life in that manner, of course, in the beginning, I took the initiative and consideration. But they all want to take kindness for weakness. They all want to switch up the playing field and try to make it like, oh, this guy needs us. Oh, this guy is this and that. Then when they see me get to work and handle my business, they're like, oh, shit. He got 12 people apologizing to him all in a row. You know what I mean? He's the real CEO of this spot. He's the real one. You know what I mean? Oh, let me try to get close to him. Oh, you already failed, homeboy, because there ain't no type of coincidence that this is keep ongoing, occurring. You know what I mean? From the female trying to give bad advice to every single person. And I keep making them apologize, you know what I mean? So you know who the real alphas in the motherfucking house. And I ain't even trying to be one. You know what I'm saying? So you're like why they looking for this leadership type quality when I didn't apply for that shit? You know what I mean? I can understand if you guys are banging on law and all about protecting innocent oppressed and all about like safety at least, or at least respecting policy. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't all about on none of that. You know what I mean? You're about this drifting, lostness, this type of mentality that makes me think like, you know what? If they're willing to go ahead and try to deceive me, imagine the little kids that they got away with. Imagine the little young adults that came here that just want to be loyal and have a job and they're so passive and humble. For the whole group to create High School Part 2. You know what I mean? Every bully, you know what I mean, that wanted to be a wannabe bully in high school all got murdered. You know what I mean? So you guys are going to lose again. With just me getting out the way. Because the law of average will do this. You're going to go ahead and play with somebody. You're going to go ahead and be negligent toward a safety procedure that easily could be resolved. And some family's going to come in and go, what happened to my son? Oh, sorry, sir, that he got shot over here because we refused. You think that guy's going to go in there and want to listen to the remark? He's going to go in there and blow that whole place up. You know what I mean? You know, and that's how all these bullies lost their lives prematurely. Not because of me, not because of my involvement or anything like that. I got out the way because I feel sorry for them. This is happening all over again. And they're not trying to be tough guys. They're trying to be deceiving, weak manipulators that require too much babysitting and require too much attention that is not granted in terms of they earned it. You know what I mean? They want to make it like, oh, just because I saw you 5 times in a row, I get to go ahead and shake your hand even though I'm same sex. Nah, man, you crazy. You know You know what I mean? I don't know what you're kind of passing on to me and stuff like that. This is an environment, you know, that's a physical environment, things like that. I just want to give like this on people. I ain't trying to, you know, people have a habit of trying to pat me on the back and all this goofiness. You know what I mean? That's all just trying to touch me, because what they really are is miserable and toxic. You know what I'm saying? And they can't respect the fact that if I acknowledge them with a nod, but they have to come, you better stop worshiping me. You know what I mean? Because you're looking miserable right now. You know what I mean? It's like these people could be pimped on their own. I'm not talking about human trafficking. I'm talking about clowns on their own with their own self-enslavement style. You know what I mean? So that's enough with that, because if y'all ain't getting it by now, and you guys on this kiss ass, fit in because I need to fit in, because I don't care, man, you know what I mean? I could have the whole shit on lock in there. But for what? For a bunch of sellouts to follow me? You know what I mean? For what? You know what I mean? It's too weak of a criteria in terms of like the whole style of involvement of life. You know what I mean? So it's just very weak like that, and I can't even tolerate none of that, but I can handle strictly business with them. You know what I mean? And that's why we're talking about this stuff. Like, do not go and withhold your honor and things like that, because some people just want to go ahead and bow down to you. You know what I mean? Fuck all that. You know what I mean? I'm not here for you. You know what I'm saying? Then again, you know, I forgive the whole situation. I'm not tripping over the situation, you know? But you don't need to go ahead and worship me and act like you had a genuine relationship with me from the get. I'm distancing myself from y'all and making it strictly business because your guys' own actions are very questionable. You know what I'm saying? Extremely questionable. Especially if you're much older than me and you think you're like, you know, your ego went ahead and gotten shocked because you don't get what you want in terms of personal benefits, but you don't want to handle business though. So now that's weird. So I have to shake my feet and say, you know what? Big aloha on that. You know what I mean? I'll make your guys' life miserable, reminding you of how crooked and how I escaped the fold in multiple ways, because this is a small percentage of all this whole world going like this. Hey, please fit in with us. We require you, which is a shame. You know what I mean? There's no need for none of that bullshit. You know what I mean? You know, people are just tricking themselves off to get prostituted on their own. You know what I mean? I'm beyond all that. Now, there's a couple real ones around there that like to holler and say what's up too. But man, even those guys, I go, what's up? What if I stroll by you a couple times and I didn't say what's up? He goes, shit, that's on you, dog. I said, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. No babysitting with y'all. Get it? Got it? Good.